Hey there folks, it's your boy Charles Barkley, back at you for another video. Today we've got a deck profile for set 3 in meta for Ibara Shiozaki, the Vine Girl. I think, personally, she's an excellent character and a wonderful card design. Sure, she's only got 19 health, but she's a 7-hander on Earth, Life, and Water. We're focusing on Water today. She has Enhance. This attack gets -1 damage. Your next attack this turn gets +3 damage. So you can use that on your opponent's turns just to subtract 1 damage. And but on your turns, basically give +3 to your next. It's very good at setting up big attacks later. It ends up being effectively a net 2 damage overall on each attack. It's beautiful. And also, Enhance once per turn, your next low attack ignores progressive difficulty. So you can chain out 3, 4, 5 cards, then throw a low attack at no progressive. It's really, really strong and lets you continue chains out earlier in the game farther than you should be able to. Great way to end games early and often. Alright, so now that we're talking about Ibara, let's look at some attacks. So I thought Water would be a great place to start on the attack lineup, because there's a lot of very fun Water cards. First off, we have her classic card, 4X Creeping Vine Eruption. This is a 5 diff throw with a +3 high block. But more importantly, it's a 2 low, 5 damage throw that is Enhance. If this attack deals less than 5 damage, add 1 copy of Faith Shield from your discard pile to your hand. No opponent wants you to have Faith Shield in their hand, so it's a great way to burn early resources to negate an attack that you're not necessarily super invested in. So you throw this out, let them burn their wall cling, burn a block, just to make sure that you don't get that beautiful Faith Shield back. Great card, love to see it. Then we've got 4X of her new promo, Piercing Thorn Lances. This is a 5 diff with a 2 high block, 4 low, 5 damage, with charge and ranged. Enhance. Add 1 other low attack from your card pool to your momentum. So you get to clear card pool with this. So you play like a Creeping Vine Eruption. Then you play this. You get to clear the Creeping Vine Eruption from card pool, putting you back to only 1 card in card pool. So you can basically cheat progressive pretty hard with 1 or 2 of these in hand. And also, and more devastatingly, Shiozaki Enhance. So you have to be playing Ibara to do it. Your rival must reveal a high block as an additional cost to block this attack. So they have to show a high block and just to block. So they have to be holding a high and, a low just to be able to do anything meaningful here. You can really, really punish them. And I'll show you with some other tricks later how to do that. Then since we're going to go all lows, and we're in Water, why not play one of the most disgusting Water attacks printed? 4X Tongue Whip. It's a 4 diff, so it makes it even easier to continue our chains out. It's a 2 low block, but it's a 4 low for 4, with ranged, and Enhance. This attack gets +1 damage for each card in your rival's card pool, so all those blocks they've been trying to play to prevent damage. And then Enhance, add the top card of your rival's deck to their card pool. So you can, sit here, throw a card in card pool. They're going to be taking 4 plus your 3 plus 2, 3 extra damage. You're looking at 8, 9, 10 damage on a Tongue Whip just from Ibara and the normal state of the board. This is a excellent card and a great way to hammer them. Just keep pounding that low. They're not going to be holding 30 low blocks in the deck. This is just a great way to win. Speaking of great ways to win, we've got Giant Ice Wall as a 4X. It's a 5 diff, 2 high block, 3 low for 5, with Breaker 1, Ranged, and Stun 2. It also has Enhance. Discard 1 momentum, your next range attack gains Stun 2. So, Stun 4 at the cost of 1 momentum. This is another great lead-in attack where, yeah, it might get blocked, but if it doesn't, they're taking 5. 4 if you with Ibara's ability. This is just a great way to make sure you're getting big numbers out there early. It's good, and then the Breaker 2, or Breaker 1, is not irrelevant at all. And a great way to dissuade people from trying to kill you. And then our final attack out of the main deck is 4X Ice Storm. This ultra rare from set 1 is a 4 diff with a 2 mid block, 4 low for 4, with Breaker 2, Powerful 3, and Ranged. So this attack has Enhance. This attack cannot be blocked by attack cards. So that high they've been revealing that entire time, you can know that if maybe that's an attack and they don't have anything there. And then the Deadlock Enhance of this attack gets +2 speed. The speed cannot be reduced. But you throw this at the end of a chain, and you can be throwing all that momentum you've been saving up over the course of the game. I threw one of these for like 17 damage at locals last week. It's just very powerful. Great way to end games. And you already should be able to know at that point what blocks they even might have left. And then the Breaker 2. Super great way to dissuade people from attacking into you. Speaking of breakers, my one action choice, Recovery Time. This rare from set 3 has +1 mid block with Breaker 1. That alone is generally worth inclusion, but it also has response remove. After you take 5 or more damage, gain 4 health. Playing attacks you can't block, this is a great way to deal with the 2 fast sets of attacks you'll see, where sometimes you just can't throw something in the way. Just, take the edge off of them. It also has, after this card leaves your hand due to Rival's effect, draw 2 cards. Not irrelevant. There are some discard decks out there. Not everything, but enough that this might come up handy. Now, on to foundations. First off, we've got in the 3 diffs, 2X Rescue Completed. This 3 diff from set 1 has 2 low block, but more importantly, Enhance, commit 1 foundation. This attack gets +1 or -2 speed. Great way to stay alive is using any foundation you have, no matter how irrelevant, as a way to -2 their attack. Having 1 or 2 of these out can really keep you buying the 1 more turn you need to kill them. The Enhance Destroy to ready 2 face downs that haven't already been readied isn't irrelevant either. Then we've got 2X Sticky Balls. So it's another 3 diff with 2 mid. Unique. This rare from set 1 has flip, add the top card of your rival's discard pile to the card pool. So great way to set up that big turn of just throw 1 more card in their card pool, make all their blocks 1 harder, add 1 more damage to Tongue Whip. But more relevantly, a lot of the time, Enhance Commit. This non-range attack gets -4 speed. -4 speed is a lot in this game, and that can really, really help play those Faith Shields. Then, speaking of it, 4X Faith Shield. This set 2 rare is one of my favorite staples in the game right now in terms of defensive capability. It's a 2 diff with a +3 mid block. Sure, it's a 4 check, but response, remove, after you block with this card, the attack deals no damage, flip the attack after this resolves. It resolves. So you basically can ruin combo decks. You can ruin, like, Ojiro 2. So this is very good at anti-meta. And then on top of that, it's an off-zone pure block. It also stops things like Jolt, where it has the guaranteed 1 damage. Just super relevant card. Very good to have, and your Creeping Vine Eruptions can fish them back up for you. Then we've got 3X First Villain Encounter. This is a DLC foundation that has +2 high block. Enhance, commit. Your attack gets +1 speed, +1 damage. Your next range attack this turn gets -1 difficulty. The big thing here is it's added stats and helps you cheat progressive. With these, you can really set up that like turn 2, turn 3, just absolute dunking on them, where you know you're not going to be able to fail the checks. Thanks to Piercing Thorn Lances, throwing cards out of card pool. Look. The Deadlock here is also not irrelevant at all. Of Deadlock Enhance, flip, your rival adds 2 foundations from their stage to the card pool. That's a game ender. People should never go into Deadlock if you have a couple of these up. It's just going to end poorly for them. Then we got 3X Wall Cling. Classic defensive piece. Flip, if this attack is blocked, it does no damage. It's just an extra way to make sure you stay alive on that squishy 19 health. Then, one of the spiciest inclusions, 2X Think Fast. This unique foundation from set 1 has a +1 mid block, but most relevantly, Enhance, commit 1 foundation. Change the zone of this attack. You know how we're playing all lows? Maybe we're not. You can just force them. If you have this out, they can't just hold lows against you. They can have to hold all kinds of stuff. And once you find out what they are holding, you can just switch it around and punish them dearly. On top of that, if you have switch zones, you get +1/+1. Just super relevant card. Great way to really, really surprise people and ruin their day. On that same game plan, we're running 1X Self-Assured. It's a unique foundation with a +3 high block. It's a 4-check, but it has Enhance, Commit, change the zone of this attack. So you can do that offensively or defensively. So it gives you one more way to try and manipulate the fact that you're playing all lows. It also has Enhance, Destroy, draw 1 card for every 4 ranged attacks in your discard pile. This is sometimes 1 or 2 cards. Not irrelevant. Then we've got one more one copy of Frozen. It's a 2-diff, 2 high, that has Enhance Your Turn. Very relevant that it's your turn. You can't do it on opponent's turns. I've seen that happen way too often in tournaments where people did not realize that effect. Destroy 1 foundation, your rival commits 1 foundation. Just a great way to make sure you're ending the game that turn, just to burn all their resources. Now we're on to 1-diffs. This, Struggling Studies, is one of my favorite 1-diffs in the game, and an amazing defensive piece. It's uncommon from set 2, it's a +3 low block. Enhance, Flip. If this is your rival's 3rd or greater attack this combat phase, add 1 card from your card pool to your hand. Also, Response. Before one of your foundations would be flipped due to a rival's effect, flip this foundation instead. Sometimes useful, but that first Enhance, crazy good here. You blocked with like an Ice Storm as their first attack. You ate the second. They play a third. You can pick it up. You have a clear card pool and an Ice Storm yet again to disrupt their turn. Absolutely devastating. Other thing, yeah, anytime you can clear your card pool, that is super relevant, and that gives you the block back. Lets you just stay alive 1 turn longer. Then, our other 1-diff, Ice Gliding, one of my other favorite defensive pieces. I'm running 3 copies. It's a +3 mid block, but most relevantly, Enhance, Commit. This attack gets +1 or -2 speed. If it's blocked, the next attack gets +1 or -1 speed. So this lets you continue blocking throughout an entire turn, modifying the speed on every attack. Just great. The fact that the value is spread across multiple events makes it very useful throughout the game. Love it. Love to see it. Then, for zeros, our spam, We're running 4 copies of Basic Training. It's a +2 mid-block with response once per turn. After you play an attack, it gets +1 damage. Just a great way to sneak extra damage onto attacks. And a deadlock response of, after an attack is played, it gets +1 speed, playable while committed. Just another reason not to go into deadlock against you, but it's mostly here because it's a solid block and it's spam. You need a bunch of spam because you're a 7-hander trying to get an early kill. This is a great way to do that. Then, got 4X surviving the final. It's here because it's spam, +3 high block. Once per turn, the attack gets -1 speed. The fact that you can do that, then later commit it, fine. You know, it's not the best card in the world. If there was something else that you might think is better, for instance, if you want to run Desperate Times, that's not necessarily a bad call. But as of right now, this is my call on that. And then finally, for the main deck, 4 copies of Gotcha. This one is super relevant with Rescue Completed because you get 2 response. After this card is committed during the enhanced step, the attack gets +1 or -1 speed, playable while committed. So this lets you get 1 extra speed off them if they're stunning you, or if you're committing to Rescue Completed, or if +1 to your attack if you're committing to Think Fast. Lots of sneaky value on Gotcha. Just gotta always make sure to remember to use that response. And it's spam, so you needed a bunch of spam just to try and make sure on that first turn you get a great start. So that's the main deck. Lots of great value in it. Lots of ways to try and disrupt opponents on their turns and just throw out a huge string of attacks that they're going to struggle with on your turn. Then, for the sideboard, running 4 copies of Cheerful Uppercut. Just another way to disrupt combos with this 5 diff, 2 mid block, 5 low for 4. It's Charge Punch. Discard 1 momentum. This attack gets +4 damage. So this becomes a 5 low for 11 if it's your second attack for the turn. Just absolutely mind-boggling numbers for just the cost of a momentum. And after you block with this card, both players have the top card of their deck to their card pool face down. So you can pick the other card up with it's Struggling with Studies if you're so inclined, or just weird interaction that you have available. But other than that, you can also just interrupts combo. It's super useful. Clog's card pool. Then, another sideboard option, 2X Cheerleader. We only have access to the response, but response remove, discard 1 momentum. After an attack is played, it gains Flash. Flashing that Recipro Burst, that Cannon Blast, that can save your game. Great to have an option available when you know you need it. Then on that note, we also have 2X Irrefutable Force of Nature. When you absolutely know they're playing foundations you need to seal, this gives you that option to rotate it in. Commit, seal 1 rival, earth, fire, or water asset or foundation, or enhance, remove to seal anything. Just great ways to keep the board controlled if you think you need it. And then one more control option, 2X Nullify. It's got a crazy high +4 high block, but after your rival plays a non-character enhance, cancel it, remove this card from the game when it leaves your card pool. Or remove, discard 2 momentum. After your rival plays an enhance ability on their character, cancel it. This is a huge surprise they're generally not going to expect from you.